can't tell you how many times I have read or heard someone say that they can't find someone who cuts natural hair. They can't find a curly hair salon in their area. And so I am here to share the process that I use for myself, I've used for my mom, and I have used for random people on discussion forums to find a hairstylist in their area, because these people are there and they need you and want you to find them. So stay tuned to find out the process. Hello everyone, Kayla here, and this is What the Kink, a natural hair channel. So the first thing I'm going to say is not really my first step, but it kind of is a step. You decide if it's a step or not, but I need you to know your area, okay? Sometimes you may live in a rural enough area to where you're gonna have to travel to be able to get these services that you're asking for, okay? For me personally, I did a lot of my searching before I found someone to do my hair. I did a lot of my search around the Orlando area because Orlando is under an hour away from me. It's definitely drivable. I am from a place called Middle Georgia. So from Middle Georgia, a drivable area would be Macon, 100% Macon, Georgia, which I believe is where the do is from, side note. And then I also would be willing to drive to Atlanta and maybe make a whole day out of it, like a dinner, movie, whatever type situation. And then even where my in-laws are from, like my husband's whole dad's side of the family, whatever, they live in Muncie, Indiana. Okay, so a realistic place for someone who lives there to travel to might be Indianapolis. You see what I'm saying? So know the area that you're going to be searching within and be willing to consider driving somewhere to get your hair done, because maybe, just maybe, your little town doesn't have someone right there. So that leads me to step number one. The first thing that I do is I go and I look up the directories of all of these different hair cutting techniques. Now, I know that a lot of times when people think of a curly haircut, they think of a diva cut, right? Diva cut is just one type of curly haircut. There are tons of other types of curly haircuts and curly hair trainings that exist. And almost all of them have a website with a directory that you can search to find the stylists who are trained in that technique, because not all, but most people who specialize in curly or kinky hair have some sort of like training or certificate that you can easily find them through. So the techniques that I can think of off the top of my head, of course, Diva, they have a website, you can look at it. There's Ouidad, O-U-I-D-A-D. They have a carve and slice cutting technique. There is Rizo cut. I think it's supposed to be a play on rizos, like curly in Spanish, but R-E-Z-O. And then there is the curly hair artistry with Scott Musgrave. He doesn't do tight, kinky hair, but you may be able to find someone who's trained in him that happens to also do kinky hair. You see what I'm saying? And then Cut It Kinky. Cut It Kinky is exactly what it sounds like. They cut kinky hair. Okay, and I may be missing other techniques, but those are the 5 that I can think of off the top of my head, and I recommend you search all of them. I don't care if you're really set on a Rizo cut and you just, oh my god, you dream and drool about getting a Rizo cut, but look at them all, because your hairstylist may be trained in that, but she or he may not be listed on that directory. A perfect example is the person that does my hair. She is not listed. She's trained in 3 of these things that I just mentioned, but she is only mentioned, I think she's only listed on 1 directory. She is not on 2 of them. And so some of these directories have requirements. Like I think Diva Curl, you either have to have a certain level of their training or you have to like retail their products or something like that to be listed on their website. So you could be very well trained in the Diva cut technique, but you're not on their website. So definitely don't just search for the one that you're interested in. You may be missing out on a good hairstylist that does have the training for that particular haircut technique. Number 2, here's what you're gonna do after you have a list of people, your little preliminary list. This is how you can start chopping down the list. You're going to visit wherever they have pictures. Some of them that's Facebook, some of them that's, for a lot of them, that's Instagram, and then for some of them it may be a gallery page on their website. Go look at their work, and you're gonna be looking at their work with these things, or at least these are the things that I look for in their work. I first look to see, do they do type 4 hair? Period. Like, do you do kinky hair? If I don't see no heads that look like me, I'm out of there. Second of all, do I like the way that the kinky hair is styled? I have been to some pages where I guess the stylist is learning how to do kinky hair still, and so they have type 4 pictures, yay, but the end result, like the hair looks like if the wind blows, the curls are gone, or it just looks like there's a coating on the hair, or it just looks like the stylist isn't quite well versed in how to style kinky hair back. And this is important because a lot of these salons have in their policies where the first appointment with them is a cut, and then they want to wash and style your hair, and that is like the new client thing. And if they don't know how to style your hair back, you're gonna have to go back home and restyle your hair, which I don't think you should have to do that for the amount of money that you're paying for these services. So definitely decide if you actually like the way the type 4 hair is being styled. Now, once you've gotten past that, with the haircuts, are they lopping everybody's hair off? Everybody coming in with long hair and everybody going out with short hair. Now, I understand if the person had really damaged hair. I've noticed with the pictures that these curly hair salons put up, a lot of the people coming into these salons do have raggedy hair, like, you know, maybe they just figured out they have curly hair, or, you know, so some transformative things do happen on these and they cut the people's hair. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking like everybody hair being cut off, even if it seemed healthy before. They cutting everybody hair off. That's a red flag. Don't do it, sis. Another red flag and another thing that I look for is are they giving everyone the same haircut? Like, the haircut is so beautiful, it is cute, it is on point, but it is the same haircut for everyone. I have seen this, whole Instagrams full of the same little curly bob. And and if you want your hair cut like that, that's great. But if you don't want your hair cut like that, it's something to consider, okay? It's something to think about. All right. Now, the third tip that I'm going to recommend is to now use Instagram as a search engine in case you want to find some other stylists that maybe aren't listed on the directory, because there are some awesome hairstylists that aren't trained in Diva Curl and Rizzo and all these things, right? And maybe they are on Instagram because, as I said earlier, a lot of them are on Instagram. Instagram is very popular for hairstylists, right? So the reality of it is Instagram is a crappy search engine. It is not a good search engine, okay? So we're doing the best we can here. You're gonna have to guess at the tags. I know that I typed in things like Orlando curl artist, Orlando curly hair, natural hair Orlando, Orlando hairstylist. You can also, if you did find a hairstylist in the earlier steps, you can look under their photos and click through the tags that they're using to see if other hairstylists are using similar tags. And then once you find someone, if you do, which I very rarely find additional people through this process, then you can still evaluate their Instagram with the same eye that you use in step 2. And then I guess it's like step 3B. Okay, the first one was 3A, but you can also use styleseat.com. It is a website or app that a lot of hairstylists use to book their appointments through. My hairstylist doesn't use this. A lot of people are using like the Squarespace thing. That's what my hairstylists use, and other people do. But if your person is perhaps on StyleSeat, you may be able to search curl cut or something like that, or curly haircut. I wouldn't search for the techniques, because if they have the technique listed, then they're probably trained and they probably are already listed on the directory. I would specifically look for curl cut or curly haircut to see if there's someone that's advertising, or even kinky haircut, natural haircut, something like that, because maybe they're advertising that they cut hair in its natural state and they're very good at it, but they're not trained in any other training. So you can use StyleSeat to see if someone's offering that in their menu of services in your area. Now, the final step that I recommend that you do after you've narrowed down your list, you got your people, you like the way that they do hair, I highly recommend, and this was a deal breaker for me, or a deal maker for me. So if you don't care about this one, disregard this step altogether. But I like to look at their salon policies to see how they cut the hair. And what I mean by this is that, especially people who are Diva trained, Diva Curl wants you to come into the salon with hair that is just styled with a cream styler. Very light stylings. They don't want your hair to be with a gel cast or whatever. And you know, most type 4 naturals, we need a heavier styler or a gel to really get our hair to where it needs to be. So they cut that hair that's not really super defined. And y'all see my hair without product or with very minimal product. It looks completely different than it looks defined. And then they style the hair. And so you may be getting something that's completely different. So something that was a definite deal maker for me with my person that cuts my hair is that she cuts hair that is super defined. I come in with the wash and go that I would normally do, with the definition that I would normally have, and that's what she cuts. And that was really important to me. So definitely look through their policies to see if they do something similar, or if you don't care or your hair doesn't look too much different between heavy style product and without heavy style product, then this may not even matter to you at all, but I just want to throw it out there. And so, of course, I found the person who cuts my hair, Jarelli Jones of Faith and Curls, faithandcurls.com, through this exact process. If you are in the Central Florida area, meaning you either are close to Daytona or you are close to Orlando or somewhere in between the two, then checking her out might be useful to you. Definitely check out my videos that I have that detail my getting my hair cut. I think I'm just gonna link the most recent cut, and then you can go to the other one if you're interested still. And then I'll have another like video over here for you to check out. Subscribe to my channel. I put up videos every week, and I will talk to you in the next one.